Welcome back to Chessbox Worldwide. Tonight, the stakes are sky high as we witness a true Premier League National Chess League showdown. In one corner, fighting for the pride of the Jinja Knights Chess Club is the determined Otella Emmanuel, a warrior facing a true legend. In the other corner, representing the powerhouse, Kireka Chess Club, stands none other than the Grandmaster of East African chess, the international master Arthur Segwanyi, a tactical genius known for crushing all who stand in his way. This is a desperate fight for every pawn, and a grueling psychological war where one player is fighting for respect and the other is expected to deliver a swift, merciless victory. But the chessboard doesn't always follow the script. Will the master prove his dominancy? Every move is a step into the unknown. The tension is palpable. Let's find out who breaks first. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the center of African chess. This was a match between Jinja Knights Chess Club versus Kireka Chess Club. Otella Emmanuel was playing board 1 for Jinja Knights Chess Club, and IM Arthur Segwanyi was playing board 1 for Kireka Chess Club. So in the white pieces, Otella Emmanuel opened the game with 1 e4, and IM Arthur Segwanyi played e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, the Scotch game, e takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop c5, obviously bishop e3, this is a theory seen many times, queen f6, c3, defending the knight, knight comes to e7, bishop c4, knight comes to e5, hitting on the bishop, bishop e2, and in this position, IM Arthur played queen g6. A double attack on the pawn which is on g2 and the pawn which is on e4. In this position, Otella didn't bother. He played short castling. And in this position, IM didn't dare take the e4 pawn. He played the simple d6. Look at this. In case of queen takes e4, we could see knight d2 hitting on the queen, queen g6, bishop h5 hitting on the queen b6, attacking the b2 pawn and also putting pressure on the knight which is on d4, b4 hitting on the bishop, bishop d6, f4, get more space on the king side, knight comes to g6, and after knight c4 makes white dominate. If you look at this position, all the pieces of white are in action. This gives white huge chances of attack. However, after short castling, IM played d6, f3, solid move. d5 should have been considered, followed by knight d2, then short castling. But IM first of all played short castling, and after knight comes to d2, f5, e takes f5, bishop takes f5, and in this position, knight takes f5 should have been considered, but Otella played king comes to h1. For example, look at this. Knight takes f5, knight takes f5, king b3 check, king h8, bishop takes c5, d takes c5, queen takes b7, and this will be promising to play on the side of Otella. However, after bishop takes f5, Otella played king h1. A prophylactic move trying to move away from the potential checks from the bishop. Bishop takes d4 should have been considered, but IM played rook d8, queen b3 check, and after king h8, knight c4. In this position, it was high time IM goes ahead to play b6, followed by bishop coming back to g1, but however, he played bishop d3, baiting Otella to go ahead and win the pawn on b7. Otella played bishop takes d3, but however, knight takes e5 should have been considered. For example, after knight takes e5, bishop takes d3, queen takes d3, we could say knight e6, queen takes e3, rook comes into e1, queen h6, knight takes c5, knight f5, knight e4, putting an eye on the g3 square, queen c6. This would be promising for white, and this will give white a huge advantage. However, after bishop d3, Otella played bishop takes d3, and IM played knight takes d3. Rook d1 should have been considered. Otella took almost 45 minutes and he played queen takes b7. And in this position, IM played d5 instantly. Now, look at this. The bishop is defending the knight, which is on e7, and also the pawn attacking the knight, which is on c4. In case of queen taking the pawn, the immediate rook c8 is very powerful. That's why in this position, Otella played knight d2, bishop b6. It was high time for Otella to play knight b3, followed by rook d8. But however, after bishop d6, Otella played unnaturally. He played f4, and in this position, IM played the last move, which killed Otella. Knight c5, trapping Otella's queen. If you look at all these squares, they are being watched by the knight. c6 being watched by the knight. Knight is watching the s6. Knight is watching s6 at the same time hitting 7. And in this position, It was in this position, after move 19, that Otella resigned the game and IM became victorious. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in your game.